Hello everybody, Naughty Nana Dice. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody feels as happy as I do because Kamala Harris has made her pick and she chose Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota. So now the right have lost their minds. Remember before it was like, ooh, we don't really want her to pick this guy and we don't want her to pick that guy because like they're too strong and blah blah blah, and all the strategists on the news, MSNBC, and everybody else was like, oh, there's not really a bad choice in there. They're all really good. They all have their strengths and they have their weaknesses, just like every human being on this planet, I might add. So anyway, they all went on about that. But when they picked, she picked Tim Walz. Oh, she picked a radical lefty. He's so far left. He's going to go along with her open border policies. Can't do anything right. He was a failed governor. Because you know what? The ones that are talking are the ones that failed. That's right. So they have to make everybody look like a big loser just like them. Let me tell you a little bit about Governor Walz, shall we? Soon to be Vice President Walz. He was a former non-commissioned officer in the United States Army National Guard, and he retired as Command Sergeant Major. He's a retired school teacher and football coach, served as governor of Minnesota since 2019. He was a congressman in the United States House of Representatives from 2007 to 2019, and he grew up working on his family farm, took some blue-collar jobs after high school, and during his campaign for governor, two NCOs of the Minnesota National Guard falsely claimed that he was fudging the facts about his rank. And they were easily debunked because everything is in writing somewhere. One of the criticisms Shay D Pants said when he found out about the announcement this morning was he did nothing about the riots and the George Floyd murder. But Walz at the time said Minneapolis and St. Paul are under assault by people who do not share Minnesota's values. The situation is no longer about the murder of George Floyd and authorized full mobilization of the National Guard. He and the mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul set curfew limits. Multiple fires broke out. Wells Fargo, an office depot, and a restaurant burned on the Friday night. It started out peaceful, right? Saturday things were relatively still. At the news conference on Saturday, Mayor Carter of Minneapolis said that every person that was arrested in the Friday night riots where they were burning everything, all of those arrested, every single one of them were agitators from out of state. So stick that up your who cut your hair last, Shay D Pants. Legitimate rage and anger over George Floyd's murder manifested in a very healthy gathering of community on Tuesday night. It was a little more angry on Wednesday, and most of the calm was gone by Thursday. On Friday, it was a mockery of pretending that this was about George Floyd's murder, our inequities, our historical traumas to our communities of color, because our communities of color and indigenous communities were out fighting hand in hand to save businesses that took years to build. He sent the largest mobilization of law enforcement, sent an additional 700 National Guardsmen who were there all week to make sure things stayed calm. They didn't, but they were a presence. He also sent 1,000 citizen soldiers and airmen to help control the unrest, and that's when Trump started putting out these little tweets or whatever the hell. Trump said, any difficulty and I will step in and assume control. He has no control over the states. Because he said, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Remember that? And then he was like, oh, no. It's when they start looting is when they start shooting. No. That's not what he meant. And everybody knew it. So he had to put out like 3 or 4 extra tweets, truths, whatever the hell it was he was doing there. But he was president at the time. After things calmed down, Walz admitted he should have done better and he should have brought in the National Guard sooner. imagine a man in government that's willing to say he was wrong and should have done better. He admitted it. Imagine that. Walz and his legislative majority have gave free college tuition to low-income families, free meals for school children, some breakfast as well as lunch, and paid medical and family leave. During the pandemic, he used his emergency powers during the pandemic to institute mask mandates, shutdowns, and a lawsuit was filed against him by the Upper Midwest Law Center, very, very far right, saying that he misinterpreted the Emergency Management Act. So it went to the state Supreme Court, who kicked it right back down again to the Court of Appeals, where the Law Center, the Upper Midwest Law Center, lost. That they said that the governor had every right to institute these things during a pandemic that happened once in their lifetime. So when he was up for re-election in 2022, he ran against Dr. Scott Jensen. Now, Dr. Scott Jensen is a anti-masker, anti-mandate. I think he was anti-vaccine as well. But he went up against him. But Dr. Scott Jensen lost that election by over 200,000 votes. That's how much the people of Minnesota love this guy. He admits when he's wrong. Walz preserved and protected reproductive rights after Roe v. Wade was struck down. He made it law in Minnesota, and he fought for LGBTQ rights and students since the 1990s when he was in the high school working as a teacher and guidance counselor, and helped funded the Gay Straight Alliance Group. In March 2023, he signed an executive order to protect the rights of residents to have access to gender-affirming care, banning the enforcement of arrest warrants, banning the enforcement of extradition requests, and out-of-state subpoenas for those that travel to Minnesota for care. And he banned conversion therapy. Ooh, ooh. Mike Johnson didn't like that because his wife is one of these unlicensed, unschooled counselors that are a big cheerleader for conversion therapy, even though it doesn't work. Ask Mike Pence. He was going every 6 months just to make sure he wasn't gay. Mother made him. Anyway, and he signed gun safety laws that allows red flag laws. Private gun transfers are subject to background checks. And he legalized recreational marijuana. Age limit 21 years of age, just like, I guess, tobacco and alcohol. And can grow up to 8 plants. And allowed minor marijuana convictions to apply to have the records expunged. And he signed a bill to restore voting rights to more than 50,000 felons who have already served their time. Yes, Mr. Walz is a good guy. He's down to earth. And he's going to help her get those swing states. He really is, because he's well liked where he is. And he's also the chairman of all the governors in the United States. And they all love him. So, just saying. Congratulations, Kamala and Tim. You're going to be a great team on the road. Can't wait to see the rally this afternoon. I love everybody that's tuned in today. Mwah. Take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. And please don't forget to subscribe, like it, share it, ring-a-ling-the-ding-a-ling if you want. All right, take care of you. I love you so much. What a great fucking day this is. I love it.